three things, what kind of jumps off the page for you?
That they won all three categories. That's obvious. They played with a greater sense of urgency. We can catch up to their pace.
I think that I've heard you talk about this before, but like your team's ability to handle a game where Asia is not able to like dominate, where would you rank your level of concern surrounding that, and how do you guys kind of fix that?
It's not necessarily my level of concern. I know we're capable, but not when we play like that. You know, God forbid Asia doesn't drop 40 for us. But we had 12 assists tonight in 40 minutes, 12, and 12 turnovers. But you could start on the defensive end. I mean, clearly we had no answer for Mitchell. Couldn't even attempt to slow her down a little bit. I thought it was really poor, really poor.
Becky, all that being said, is there maybe something to be said for the fact that it looked like at times your team was getting some shots and they were just rattling in and out? There were shots that seemed like that they'd been falling and they just didn't.
Yeah, well, there's those shots, and then there's the layups that we missed. I mean, we at least missed 9, maybe 10. I know we had about 6 or 7 at halftime, and the trend kind of continued of missing layups. So, I mean, it's potentially 20 points on the board. Even with that being said, our problem was on the defensive end, and then not moving the ball at all on the offensive end. It was. We'll have a talk about it.
You brought up Kelsey Mitchell, but what about the way she was playing today made it so difficult for you guys to slow her down? Or what about the way you guys couldn't defend her was the issue?
Well, one, she made every freaking shot, it seemed like. Long twos, short twos, threes, get the free throw line. You know, she had a hot night, and we let her get going. I mean, she had 17 at half and continued that into the second half. Now, it's a little bit of a combination. You can't ask any one person to, guard her. It takes multiple actions and multiple bodies. But I thought in the second half, I just felt like our physicality and our pursuit was not there. Like we died on screens. You have to have second and third efforts. Even if you know you might be beat, you still have to try hard to get back into the play. And I don't think we tried hard in that category.
Coach, you had mentioned that you guys were trying to throw in some new wrinkles on the defense and maybe you'd see what it looked like and then potentially switch. Like, did you even see them try to execute those things? Or
yeah, and when we did, it wasn't too bad. As the game progressed, I thought it got progressively worse. To eventually where, I went with a really small lineup because we needed to score some points. So I just put our best offensive team out there. We get it to 5 and then just, don't handle that success well and go back to what got us, in the hole. So, we got to be able to generate some offense when A is having a rough night, but we can do that better with ball and body movement. I thought we were just ultra stagnant tonight offensively.
And then speaking of Asia's off night, what would you attribute that to?
I think she just missed. Honestly, she had a lot of great looks. She just missed, and that happens. Even the greatest players have nights off, like where they miss. So I'll tell you that she doesn't normally lay 2 stinkers in a row. She's somebody who bounce back, makes the adjustments, but it's on the rest of us to kind of give her support, on a night maybe when it's not going in. But I thought she had some good looks. I thought all of us had some decent looks. I mean, like I said, the layups at the beginning, I mean, those are like momentum breakers in a bad way when it's like those shots were used to going in. And they just didn't go in. Like some great looks, to your point, Willie, in and out ones, they didn't go in. And it kind of was a snowball effect of those kinds of plays.
For Coach, for good players. All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Start questions for either player. Anyone want to start us off?
Okay. Both of you had pivotal plays to kind of shift the momentum. What did either of you feel like was kind of the turning point of this one?
I mean, honestly, we were in the huddle talking about like we didn't really have a pep to us. You saw like the pace that they were playing at, the pep that they had in their step, and we just didn't have that today. And so I think it's on us, to change that next game and then just come out, with that pep in our step and kind of match their intensity and their physicality.
Yeah, for either of you, it seemed like Becky was most concerned with the defense. What did you feel like was the biggest struggle on that end of the floor and slowing them down?
Yeah, I think we just have to be physical on the defensive end. I mean, the refs are letting us get away with things. So we just have to see how the refs are calling it and kind of match that physicality. But yeah, just being aggressive on the defensive end. I mean, they're being aggressive with us when we have it on offense. So we just have to match that intensity.
There was a point in the third where, even though they had outplayed y'all to that point, you cut the lead to 3, and then they went on that 11-0 run to close the quarter and then open up the fourth. What stopped that momentum when you cut the lead to 3 from your eyes on the court?
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about closing quarters and ending quarters strong, and we haven't been able to do that lately. And it showed, like you said, 11-0 run. And so I think we just have to lock in those last few minutes and get stops. And just, just trust the process, buy into what the coaches are telling us, and play hard, on the defensive end. I think is the biggest thing, just getting back, getting turned around in transition. We know that they like to push the ball in transition, push it with a lot of pace. And so I think it's just on us, to just be aware of that and know that and just get turned around on the defensive end. That's the biggest thing. Our defense, it wasn't there tonight.
Dana, you were really effective off the bench, especially in the third quarter. What were you seeing in transition that was allowing you to help push the pace and get some buckets and some man ones there too?
Yeah, I think I got to be a spark for us. I got to come in. I got to change the tempo. Defensively, I wasn't good tonight. Well, this afternoon, I was not good defensively. But just being aggressive, they need me to get in the paint, and I feel like I need to get more easier shots for Jackie, easier shots for Jewel, Chelsea, like getting that paint and spraying. I think I don't know how many assists we ended with, but I feel like we didn't pop the ball enough. So for me, just being aggressive.
Anything else for players? Kylie, follow up?
Dana can see the frustration in your face. I'm wondering how you can channel that into game 2.
Be better. That's pretty much what it is. Just be better, be ready to play. I feel like took a few plays off, and I think it came to bite us in the butt. So just staying locked in, being ready to play next game.
Last couple, Sabrina.
For either of you, when you see Asia sort of struggling and not just being the Asia Wilson you're expecting of her, like just how do you try to support her in a game like that?
Yeah, we got to be better for her. I mean, she deals with a lot. Like she's getting double team, triple team. We have to take some pressure off of her. We have to be better and getting her, I feel like, easier looks. Everything can't be ISO for her. We got to get her some catch and shoot, pick and pops, just kind of get her going. And like I said, for me, I got to get our guards easier shots. I feel like we was taking a lot of tough shots off the bounce, but we weren't getting in the lane and catching, shooting, spraying threes. So, but collectively, we all have to just be better, and we will.
Thank you, players.
Thank you.
Thank you.